Namaste. So we were discussing different forms of bhakti in the previous video, and we are doing a series on how to surrender to God in the most difficult times, during the ups and downs of our life challenges, right? So inside of that, first we understood what are the forms of bhakti and why I'm asking you to surrender. I'm giving you a logical reasoning, and from there we're moving to, okay, how can one transcend from Vaidi Bhakti to Parabhakti? So, to recap, Vaidi Bhakti is some structured devotion following rules and regulations and disciplining the mind to do the sadhana in a prescribed way. That is definitely the first step needed. Understanding the primary foundation is really important. So, it's really needed. The next is Ragatmika Bhakti, which is intense love for divine, but somewhere we are breaking the rules and regulations of traditionally relating with the God using stringent rules and regulations. So we are breaking all that and defining our own rules to connect with the God, coming from a space of love and attachment, where we are relating our God with our brother, sister, mother, father, friend, and hence we are in a space where we relate with them as somebody who's so close that the fear vanishes. Okay, the need for strictly doing things in a pretendly orderly way, in a way which is others are doing, I may not necessarily want to follow. So I have a separate relationship with the divine. I may not want to disclose it to outside people of the world, but I do definitely have a way to relate with the divine in my own ways. That's Ragatmika. As I said, Raga is love and attachment. Then the next is Parabhakti, where this is considered to be the highest stage of Bhakti, where we are going beyond the do's and don'ts, the likes and dislikes, the must and shoulds. It's more like reuniting with the divine in its own ways. So imagine if there is like a raindrop falling in the ocean. What happens to that raindrop? Does it have a separate identity that this is a different raindrop that's have fallen from the rain into the ocean? No, right? It just merges with the ocean itself. That is Parabhakti, where the devotee merges with the God without any kind of difference. It's like a child who is in the mother's arm, feeling so safe, so taken care, and totally safe. Okay, we always feel surrendered, like, okay, whatever ma says in that time when I'm a baby, when my ma feeds, I take. When my ma punishes, I take. When my ma directs, I get directed. So it's more like I'm being like a child in in my divine mother's arms. Nothing matters beyond it. And this is something definitely much more a deeper way I connect with the God, that it goes beyond the rituals, the rules, the regulations, the normal way of prayers, the normal methods of prayers. It goes even beyond my normal way of emotions and thoughts and thought patterns and beliefs about things that world believes. So I have my own different set of ways of relating with viewing God, and I just am that. Okay, I like to be with the God and I feel their presence, and I am in that world all the while. So this is one of the pinnacle of bhakti. Okay, like Mirabai's love, Ramakrishna Parhamsa's bhakti for Kalima. These are all examples of these parabhakti things. But how do we transcend from Vaidi to Para? Wherever you are, firstly understand it's all good. Okay, we need to start somewhere. Even if you are not, it's also fine. Find this space, this personal, whatever 5-10 minute talk that we are having, to retrospect what is the way you wish to connect with the God. And that's the reason my this conversations may not relate with the traditionalists, with the people who follow strange rules, but now you're at the level. But I'm not trying to demean that, that's something lower. There are highest, every Shankaracharya, every Sadguru, every Pitadipatis, they all follow this this Vaidi Bhakti. But the difference is the context, okay, the context with which I'm relating with God. Is it just because of fear? Is it because of the this is the only way, being so strange, being so rigid with the rules, as the only way God pleases and God blesses, bestows, God takes away the pain, is what is the the four four the four thought that runs in this. But for people who are evolved like Sadgurus, um, perhaps their context, though I have not yet done any interviews to them, but I assume that though they are ritualistic, that's coming from the space of love and devotion, being unity with the divine and understanding Paravati as a whole, yet doing rituals as a means to offer highest reverence through sastras. Okay, I'm not sure if it's making sense, but what I mean to say is, wherever you are, you're good. Okay, but let's see if we can leave fear-based mechanisms to relate with God, or thinking God is out there and I need lot of hard work to even listen to them or connect with them or see them. From that, can I, for a minute, accept the fact that God can also communicate? God is as eager as me to connect with me, that I'm eager to connect with them. And maybe I may have to a little build trust, love, and connection than just rituals. Maybe not. So again, I'm saying this conversation may not be good with traditionalists, but those who are open, maybe it can make sense. Okay, so any person who is starting to have an inner transformation, um, the the inner transformation happens when you are in the state of parabhakti. Okay, so only in that state where your ego dissolves, where love becomes unconditional and divine is experienced in every being, everything, only then we allow ourselves to transcend our egos and connect and reflect and get self-aware. Okay, and when you resist this journey, it takes a longer time. As such, surrendering is a very, very strenuous path. It's not like you can crack it in a day or a minute. It's take its own time, it's a journey, I should say, a journey of surrender, a journey of faith, a journey of trust, a journey of purification, a journey of developing deep love, and a journey of acceptance of who I am and accepting divine in everything and inside of me. Okay, so once we start with our Vaidi Bhakti, which is our disciplined devotion, how we do, we start with following a particular routine, regime, daily sadhana, chanting for a number of times, puja, vidhi, scripture reading, meditation, then Guru's guidance, and then our own self discipline of observing things, reducing distractions, or cultivating inner purity in our own ways, refraining from drinking alcohol or cigarettes during certain times, or refraining from eating non-veg eggs and stuff like that. You know, trying to be connecting with God using discipline. Okay, and it's important because it clears the mind fog, it clears our mind from all the heavy dense energies, and can definitely creates a strong um, bench, a strong path, foundation for devotion, bhakti. The next is our Ragatmika Bhakti, which is definitely a, an ascended, a next step. Again, from moving from this to this again is a journey. So it's not like instantly, oh, I've done this for a year or two and now I'm in Ragatmika. No, that moment of, okay, it's okay to break rules because that goddess there is not there, but he's just right here in the form of my mother, father, brother, sister, friend. Will my friend get angry when I don't do these things? Then how petty can God be? No, right? We get into these thought patterns, and when someone who's asking us to still follow the previous norm, we might get confused. Like we might feel why they're saying so, but we don't know things, right? So we might be quiet, but internally we might be having these musing that why is it so? Why is it like that? Why is it? And we don't know what. I want you to understand if you are in that space, please, in the beginning, for you to get help with the discipline, it's important that you follow these regimes and rules. But after that, please ascend, please give permission for you to move to the next level, which is more from heart, with complete trust, no fear. Trust me, I've seen God multiple times with all humility, humility, and gratitude. I'm telling this. Nowhere they are fearful, nowhere they are um, they're not they're not punishers, you know. Even if they are punishers, they're doing it for our good, okay? And when you can understand it with complete trust, it's a different way to relate with it than if I don't do this, God will get angry. If I'm not like this, they're not okay. God is okay with everything. God is okay with not being anything. God is okay with God being everything. Okay? There is God won't expect anything from us that we are not ready to give, maybe. So he and she both, they just accept with open arms. That love is so pure. Okay. So I don't want you to feel, when you're fearing, you can't feel their love. I want you to feel their love and cry with that unconditional warmth, because we be searching now. We are searching for love. We're searching for someone to protect us, someone to guide us, someone to take away the pain, someone to heal us, and we are running all around. But this person, this GV has that power. You know that you have the power either to connect with your God and get that support, strong support. Trust me, there's no God, there's nobody in the human realm who can be as supportive as God, your own Ishtadevata. There's nobody who can replace them in the human realm. Not, neither their love, neither their support, neither their guidance, neither their protection, neither their friendliness, neither their um, um they're like everything. Okay, so so it's it is very unfortunate that people scare them. They're not the beings to be scared, but they are they are definitely our mother and father, so they deserve that high level of pedestal that we give them with our own way. See, I can think God is within me and God is residing in my heart, but yet I give that reverence to them, that they are the Srishtikarta. So that way, so we move from ritualistic bhakti to heart-centered in our Ragatmika bhakti. Then we speak our our relation with God is totally like our friend. We sing with them, we dance for them, we express through songs, dance, um, art. We express divine in multiple forms without any fear that what others will think or what God will think. Okay, we read about devotees and their stories on different ways how they related with God, and then we do have this a longing that I also want to connect like that with God. I also want to be. I also. So here, love is something which is the universal, all-consuming emotion when I'm not connecting when I'm connecting with the God. So here it is about relating. Okay, it's not just when I'm doing puja or not, when I'm doing a practice sadhana or not. Every breath I'm only connecting with God in this form. So if I think God is my friend, I'm always relating with as my best friend. I am talking to God, I'm cracking jokes, I'm making fun, I'm pranking. It's just that I'm not able to see them in a physical form. That's all. But I'm just having that kind of a complete uh, friendly means I'm superly friendly with God. But I keep doing things in my own ways to honor that divinity, but It's coming from love. Okay, that I want to give best to my mummy. I want to give best to my friend. I want to give best things that I bought for my son. Same way I'm doing it for my God, not out of fear that if I don't do this, I will not have my wish fulfillment or they will get angry. The next is, as we are doing this level of relating with God in everything, we slowly move into surrendering, which is Saranagati. Means I am at your feet. Okay, you will take me to wherever you want. Whatever is your will is always finally will be done. I am giving my personal expectations that I want it this way, I want it that way, I want this, I want that. I will accept whatever you give. It can be joy, it can be sorrow, as divine grace. I will let go of this need to control things. I will stop trying to achieve you, God, or achieve somebody or something. Like I want to achieve this, I want to achieve this. Achieve on a word. That word is replaced with trust that you're already giving us and you will give when the time is ready. Hmm? That's how you relate with God rather than trying to do this. Like it's not like a formula kind of thing. So even after I start relating with my brother, still I have this longing for attachment, right? More and more connection. And in that, what I start doing is here, I will relate with the next level where whatever you feel, I will do. Whatever you ask me to do, I will do. Whatever you say, I will do. I will not have it. Literally like I my remote control is with God. So whatever God feels, whichever channel she presses, my life becomes that. I accept it because I know that what they do is good. Like I have to be like a small child in front of God, where say if I'm in LKG or a 3 month old, 5 month old child, whatever my mother says I do right, same way I have to keep doing, surrendering. Okay, difficult, yes, I know, because what surrendering means is not being defined well, or how to surrender is not being understood really well. So that is the reason we are doing this series. But let's discuss, okay? Then the next is after surrendering, which is Saranagati, we are doing Sarvatmika, which is everywhere you are. Every person, every animal, every bird, every moment, every thought, every emotion, thought pattern, belief, in every pain, any kind of distress, suffering, joy, happiness, gratitude, everywhere you are there. Okay, you are not just there in the temple, you are not just there in the my temple room or in some place, but you are in everybody, you are in every soul, you are residing in every being that is there on that existence. You are there in the tree, you are in the mountain, you are in the enemy, you are in the, you're also there in the people who hurted me, who betrayed me, who also pained me. You are there in my bad habits and my good habits. So I try to embrace both as part of me. Every person as part of God, and every being as part of divine. So I don't get angry. I don't get to judge. I don't get to um, separate or distinguish anything as bad or good, because in everything she is there or he is there. So that way, in every place, everywhere, every challenge, every pain are all sent by divine for our growth. Maybe that if that happens, our karma gets completed. There is a learning, there is a way we are exposed to this because there is something that we are to, as part of our soul plan, listen. So she is exposing or he is exposing, but I know they are there to support, hold me whenever I think I'm not able to take it, or they will guide me in that way. So don't worry. Like that, I keep moving in forward, forward, forward. That is the Sarvatmika Bhakti. Then is the next step, which is your Atma Bhakti, which is I'm moving behind, I'm moving beyond this words and rituals into silence, feeling the divine within me, and I'm meditating on the formless forms of divine. I am meditating on the formless Nirguna Tattvas, and I'm moving from praying to God to being with the God, maybe in japa. So mostly, that's why if you see all these rishis, they all are doing silence. They're only doing japa. Um, they're not doing anything other than japa. Why? Because that's the natural progression where I know first I see in God in everything, and whatever is the experience that's been showered to me is as a God's blessing. And from there, I get into silence as a means to progress, get into ascension. So being with the God. So sometimes what happens is when you do nyasa and all, we put ourselves, when you do nyasa, you place God in our body parts, and then we will see God inside and we merge with the God ourselves. So all of these japas, mantra sadhanas, not for karya siddhi, but just to be with the God, to reunite or be with the God. It's more like a silent offering. Then Then comes the last stage, which is our divine madness. In Parabhakti also, we are like totally consumed by God and devotion. Like we are like longing for that love of God. We cry for the divine. Like, in the beginning when we see our husbands or when we had to part from our mother or father, we cry, no? Like for longing. Like that we cry for God. Now when they show us, no, yesterday I was crying, right? Like that, cry for divine, feel the joy, ecstasy of God, let's cry. We let go of our inhibitions, we let go of any kind of fears. It doesn't really matter what people think about us or what people, what we are by ourselves, and we are secure in what we are. No matter whatever dress you're wearing, whatever language, the way you're speaking, you're sitting, it doesn't really affect you. People's opinions doesn't reflect, or that doesn't matter. You're not trying to impress somebody, you're not trying to get some brownie points from others. um, you attribute everything to divine surrendering. Like, say, at this point, there will be some people who view this video and who somebody who doesn't. It doesn't matter to me, because I've been asked to do these videos. I'm doing it, and whoever are ready to hear, whoever are to hear, this will reach them. That's my belief, because there's a purpose why these videos are created, and there are certain people who need it, and for them it will reach. It may be one or two, or it may be five, doesn't matter for me at this point. But the matter is that five people are ready to get this knowledge, and I'm grateful that God chose me to give this to them, and they, I'm sure, will ascend in a different level. So that's the equation. So there's no me kind of thing, and it's more everything about them, their life, their stories. So here it is more like how much ever time we are listening to them, we still want to hear more. How much ever discussions we are doing, we are. So for some people, we might be putting off. A few we might be not able to relate, but doesn't matter, because we are totally secure in the spaces we are, and how many hours we can be in that space. Maybe I can be at this point. So it's the same for everybody, because we get into that madness, right? So now Durga Saptati, I keep doing hours and hours of research, because how many hours I do also, for me, I feel I want to learn more about Dharma. I want. I keep buying books. Whatever money I get, I invest in knowing about Mummy. Uh, I have a different madness about her. So like that it is, okay. And I can't stand anybody, not giving that kind of love to her, because I don't like people being feared. The very reason I'm doing these videos is that because she is not somebody whom you to fear, okay. And all this world is filled with fear, all this world is fear. And you yourself can, just with some patience, some mind shift change, you yourself can relate with her in a more deeper way and get to solutions for every problem that you're going through, and find peace. Let your soul evolve and transcend. How beautiful it would be if you are able to see her and talk to her and get guidance from her, like how I'm getting, and be in that space of love to her and him, and cry with lot of ecstasy that, oh, father, oh, mother. So that's something which we all want to have, right? So that's how. And then the last stage where we even transcend from this state where we forget ourselves and we always only divine, divine, divine. From there we go to becoming, divine ourselves. So there's no difference between me and divine, and there's no me left. Okay, only divine stays. So I'm just in the total surrendering, where I am, the presence of mind itself emanates love, and stuff. So I don't think I've reached that stage, but maybe, the big big gurus, and that's the reason you see Premanandamayi, Atmanandamayi, like that. All these people come. So as a pure form of love. Okay, the gurus, their names will be like that. So that's why I say the start point is you begin with discipline, you move to love, then you surrender completely, then you see divine in everything, every place, every being, every emotion, thought pattern, belief, and realign yourself with divine's wish and play, and then you dissolve into divine. Once you dissolve, it's moksha. That's the final goal for every one of us. So that's how we get into this paravati states. Um, it's beautiful. The journey can be beautiful. So if you are there till now, thank you so much. Let's further deepen this learning. I think making this Telugu English videos are getting too much for me, but let's try. Okay, so let me do as much as for Telugu also, but if not, I would definitely request you to watch English. Um, and that's how. Sarvan Sri Jagdambharpanastu. In the next video, let's talk about Homa and experiences, and from there, lessons to surrender.